Alrighty, everyone, welcome to today's recap. I hope you all are doing well and staying blessed. If you guys are new here, my name is Jeremiah and I'm a small cap day trader. Today is more or less of a break even day, but I'll take it. Um, First, I want to go over my trade from Wednesday because I did not do a recap on Wednesday. I kind of just skipped that day. I got a little busy. I don't actually remember what happened, but I did not do a recap. So we're gonna go over that trade. Wednesday was a red day, um, and I took my trade on VCIG, which is a Malaysian company with a float of 20,000 shares. Apparently, I don't know if that's right, but um, that's apparently what the float is. Um, it okay. It was up 62% when I traded it. Sorry, I'm looking at my scanner, but this is for today. And I think I took the break over the hive day, which has been a setup that's been failing me without fail recently. So got in there in that candle, hoping for candle over candle, and then the break through the hive day. I only 10 shares, so I'm thinking, all right, well, what's the worst that could happen? A couple dollars, couple cents on a couple shares. And I was sort of like just flabbergasted that this stock, I mean, other than right here, it was only going up. And I was like, there's no way. Because the day before I had like 0% accuracy and I was just like so defeated. And I was like, I'm going to wait for a setup where I feel like I know it's going to work. This wasn't a setup that I felt like that. I just jumped in because of FOMO. And this, as I mentioned, my previous recap has been a overarching theme in all of my red days as of recently. And so I did lose $1.60 a share, which is terrible. Um, but there's a lesson to be learned from this, and that is that the market does not care if you just had a red day um, and you had 0% accuracy. So I was holding this because I was like, there's no way I'm wrong another time. But the reality of it was that I should have sold it immediately as soon as I saw that it wasn't working. Not taking into consideration how bad of a day I had the day before, and that my accuracy has been 0% or was 0% on like the day before, or maybe like 10% or something very bad. Um, and that this is the trade that like, oh, okay, like this one has to work, right? But obviously that's not what happened. I lost $1 a share, more than $1 a share, and that's just what you get because the market does not care about what happened yesterday or whether you made money or not yesterday. So that's a lesson to be learned from Wednesday. Now we're going to move on to today, Friday. So the trade I took was on PRSO. This stock has a float 8.5 million shares, and it is a U.S. company. The sector is technology, and I think it had news about making something for. Oh, yeah, something about next generation drone identification system for military applicants. So that sounded pretty good. The only problem I had with it was that it was a little bit choppy, or not choppy, but it was thickly traded, and the lower price was kind of throwing me off. I did see this right here, so this was a daily level. Or no, this was not a daily level. This is just a pivot right here. So I was looking at this pivot and I was like, if it breaks this pivot and it closes above it, we could see the next level, or we could see this price go to the high of day. And we did get that. So it broke above, closed above, and then it dipped down to this level. It held, and then it shot up, and I didn't pull the trigger because I was like, I don't know about it. And so I took a trade here around the 9 EMA. I was thinking about if it goes down to the 9 EMA, I'll take the dip off of it, but I didn't take that setup exactly. It was sort of, you guys will see. You guys will see. So it's dipping down there, and I'm still not really sure about it. And so I jump in as it's curling back up. I was thinking about selling it right there because it felt like it wasn't working, but I ended up selling right at 80 for a 2-cent winner. And my grand P&L was 9 cents. So the math is not adding up. That should be 10 cents on 5 shares, but in any case, somewhat of a break-even day. But I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not the end of the world. Better than a red day, that's for sure. And today is Friday, so it's expected that the market will be a little bit slower and we might not see as many good opportunities. But the good news is that the market has been heating back up, and we saw some good momentum Monday through Thursday. So I think that's the silver lining. And we are seeing some moves actually at past the opening bell. So that's good to see that some stocks are holding up. But that will be it for the trades for today and Wednesday. But I did want to touch on a few more ideas. The first being that a lot of my losers came from me buying in too high. So I would be buying, it was all the setups where I'd FOMO in because the stock started to pull away and I felt like I was missing the move. And next thing I know, I buy in at the top and then we get a huge flush and I'm down a point on that stock. Or I'm buying at the high of day and then in a colder market, it just doesn't work as well. And I get caught in another flush. And I found where I do well is on micro pullbacks. Not even as much micro pullbacks, but the dip and rips. I guess micro pullbacks. So getting in on these lower wicks. So when the candle goes red, and then jumping in as it's dipping before it rips. So and that's when the stock is pulling away. Like this would have been an okay setup. So as it went red up for a little bit, bought right there, and then caught that move. So that could have been a really good trade. I just didn't take it because it was thickly traded and I was not sure about it, like I said. This could have been a no trade day. Realistically, this didn't have to be. This really wasn't that good of a trade, to be quite honest with you. Um, so it could have been a no trade day, but I'm grateful that it's not a red day because it can always be worse. But a lot of my winners, like I was saying, happen when the stock is red. So I buy when I'm buying when it's red and selling when it's green. Of course, I'm making money. But when I buy when it's extended, which is oftentimes because of FOMO, less of because of an entry, I end up losing larger amounts. Now, if I have a cushion on the day or I have a position from earlier in the stock, so say I had bought here and I want to go for the break through the high of day and add, that's probably fine. But I typically don't. That's what happens is I buy up here and then I get caught in a flush and that ends up being a big red day. But that's what I wanted to share. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are staying green and disciplined. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.